My name's Vinnie, founding partner of Golden Gate Ventures. We're an early stage venture capital firm investing across Southeast Asia. Back in 2010, my wife and I, we took off just to kind of backpack around the globe. Our first stop was Korea. We had an amazing time. We went to China, had another amazing adventure, ended up spending 1 year traveling around Asia, 6 months of that around Southeast Asia. I got to meet 100+ startups in the region, and then just got really sucked into what's basically happening on the ground here and kind of wanted to be a part of it. I think ecosystem support is key. So when you look at something like Silicon Valley, like what makes Silicon Valley so magical? It's not, it's not in the water. It's not like something there. It's the people that are there, and so the people are the ecosystem. And without that, you have a very steep hill to climb. So it's not to say that you can't build a startup outside a dense community of people, but it's a lot harder. Once you have a tight ecosystem, you have other entrepreneurs to get help with. Maybe you have some people that are a little further along that you can learn from. Hopefully you also are spending time giving back to people that are just getting started. But then there's everything else that comes around the ecosystem. So investors, we flock to see when there's lots of startups. Even, think of vendors, accounting firms, lawyers, these sort of services, in the startup world behave differently than the corporate world. And when an ecosystem has a lot of startups and a lot of founders, then you get to take advantage of all these different third-party services, being able to offer something to the startup scene. I think there are a lot of kind of players or actors that make up an ecosystem. Number one, they're driven by entrepreneurs. So you can say money, investors, entrepreneurs, but an ecosystem is really driven by the entrepreneurs. But what is really important is that they have a community, a support network of peers. And I think co-working spaces are one of the key kind of pillars in an ecosystem like that, because it's a physical space that brings people together, so it actually creates real community, real relationships. And there's always a virtual community around it in terms of like message boards, Facebook groups, and so it's something that mixes the offline and online together. I've been working in a co-working space for the past 3 years. For me as an investor, it's amazing. It plugs me into the community. Startups can see me every day. We can build up informal relationships. We can just chat over coffee, nothing too formal. I also do a lot of mentoring and coaching with members within the co-working space. And again, it's all about building up that relationship before kind of asking for funding. And so I think the great thing about a co-working space is that everybody that's there is basically there for the community. So unless you see them like coding really hard with their headphones on and like super deep into something, generally it's pretty cool just to like tap someone on the shoulder, say hi, ask them to grab lunch, grab coffee, and everybody has an understanding that that's why you're there, and that's cool.